Okay, here's an original effect I call Thought Distraction. And the reason I'm calling it this Thought Distraction title is because have you ever had, I'm sure you've had a situation where you've had to do some sort of counting or some kind of mathematical problem and someone else in the background happens to be counting out loud, and how distracting that is and how hard it is to count yourself. Well, in this effect, I'm going to demonstrate how thought can be very distracting also. Now, first off, I'll show you exactly how this looks, how the demonstration looks, and then I'll move on to the tutorial. Now what I would do is I would show the deck of cards, just a regular deck of mixed cards. The spectator can easily see that they're really mixed, and I would then invite the spectator to cut the deck however many times they like. So they cut the deck themselves a number of times, and then whenever they stop, I would then instruct the spectator to deal the cards into two even piles, and to deal at least a minimum of half a dozen cards in each pile, or else the trick won't be that interesting, but to deal as many as they want. And let's say they stop here. Then what I would do is I would count the cards and see how many they've dealt. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That way we know so that the spectator can go into riffle shuffling the cards, and we can count 13 cards again so that we have two even piles of 13. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. So, needless to say, the spectator has, counted a random portion of cards. They've shuffled them together. The spectator can then choose any pile they want to hold onto themselves. So let's say they choose this pile. I would then take the other pile, and I would then instruct the spectator to look through their cards and to write down all of the values of their cards. And I would secretly write down all of the values of my cards on a piece of paper or a pad, and we both at the same time are going to attempt to add up all of the values as carefully as possible, quietly to ourselves. But this is where I'm going to demonstrate how thought can interfere with other focused thought working on this mathematical addition. So after the totaling is done, the spectators totaled all their values and written all the values on a piece of paper, and after I've totaled all my values and written them down on a piece of paper, I would then bring out the paper and I would show all of the values. Let's say, just pretend I have all the values written down of my cards and my total. I would then ask the spectator to look through my cards and to make sure I've written down the numbers and I wasn't distracted by his thought at all, and that I've correctly added everything, totaled everything together properly. When the spectator goes to look at my list of numbers, they'll realize that my list of numbers are way off. Like, I've got all the values totally different from what cards I have. And of course, that leads to a completely different total than what these cards should be. So, needless to say, I seem to be very distracted by his thoughts. And then we go into the spectator's pile, and they look at all their cards, and when we look at the numbers that I've written down and the total, it turns out that the numbers I happen to write down for my cards happen to match exactly all of the values of the cards in their pile, and of course the correct total for all of their cards. So it was as if they distracted me so well that I ended up picking up on their thoughts and coming up with an accurate addition of their values, even though I never even saw their cards or had no idea what their cards could possibly be. So that's the surprise at the end, and that should amaze them. So I hope you like that effect, and if you like it enough and you want to learn how this is done, I will get on to the tutorial, which I will leave a link to right now. So thank you for watching.